I thought it was pretty interesting. I'm pretty in-depth on my viewpoints of that arena. Love it, hate it, it's out there. You know how I feel. I think that the vast majority, if not all of this stuff, is some kind of black program or secret space program. We're going to get into that. But get ready, because bum, 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 bum. This one's interesting because it's from the ISS, the International Space Station. And it's from multiple angles, and it gives a look, and I'm open to anything. So let's talk about what this thing could be, because we got a little too much green screen over there. I hadn't tested it. We're going to look at several possibilities, right? Is it an alien spacecraft? Is it a spacecraft at all? Is it some other type of technology? Is it some kind of debris? Or could it be a biological entity that we don't know about? I would say the alien spacecraft and the biological entity are at the low end of the spectrum here. But I always like to remind people before we get into this video that this stuff isn't new. And here's some still shots of it. And it almost looks like it has a balloon-like texture. I don't know how to put that. I definitely, especially watching it as many times as I have from the different angle, that's how I feel about it. We're going to watch the whole thing. I do want to give props to the first place it was out there, Mr. MBB333. Know nothing of his other work, but I couldn't find any other source material on it, right? So he's got his own breakdown. It's got about 90,000 views. I'm sure that's more than this one will get. But what we're going to do is kind of look at this whole thing. And then we're going to bring up, once again, the fact that really we're going to show you two other videos. And one of them is really, this one really here from 2012. And you can timestamp it. You can go check out the original source. And this one is also timestamp 6/26/19. I think what you're getting glimpses at are, to be honest with you, the Star Wars program and how that's progressed, and NASA. The Space Force is just the new branding of it, and they're desperately trying to do that, by the way. It doesn't know if it's going to go through in 2020, but really this is just more funding and a rebranding of what's already been going on, what's been classified for years. Remember Gary McKinnon? Richard Dolan interviewed McKinnon recently in March, like 6-7 months ago. It's an interesting interview, but that's where you get the non-terrestrial officers. And I don't think that means little green man or people from space. I think that means our officers somewhere in space. I don't know if that means even off-world, other than perhaps in some of these three-dimensional object, right? It's definitely in space, and there you're going to get another look at it. It's almost like a Millennium Falcon, but then you look at the bottom of it, and is that cover? Is that some kind of like clouds? Is that just for aesthetics? It's really interesting, to say the least, right? And I shut off all the sound and stuff like that because I don't think that stuff is important to get a look at it. It's floating in a direction. So could this be a new type of satellite? Perhaps an energy source? I mean, there's a lot of different things. Is this just a distorted perspective, right? I want to get out of the way. I'm in the way. But what is it? You guys are going to leave your comments. It's definitely a three-dimensional object. It's definitely there. Now, I want to show this video here. It's much less impressive than the one I'm going to show you in a second. But clearly, right here, as I circle it, right, you can see some type of a three-dimensional object casting a shadow over clouds. This is more ISS footage. This is from June, right? So what is that? I don't think this is some kind of off-world craft. I think this is something that we're working on. Maybe, again, a new type of a drone or satellite type craft, okay? So, there's another video, another example, how none of this is actually really that new. It's just kind of interesting, right? This one here, I really I do dig this one, especially because it's time-stamped and the way it progresses. So we're gonna skip forward a little bit. Obviously, you can see this little black dot, right? Well, they start following the little black dot, and the more that they follow it, the more they zoom in on it. There's a little zoom, and the more detailed it becomes. This is a 5-minute video. And clearly, this one, I think this is about as high as it gets. This says Auto 360. Yeah, it's the highest it gets, but I'm sure you can go find it there. This is a three-dimensional object. It's in flight. It gets pretty detailed. This is one of the more, even at the 360p, that's a detailed view of something that's clearly not on the books in the United States. That's, I guess you would say, an unidentified flying object. It certainly looks like a vehicle, right? So, once again, that's a really good one. You can find this. Just type in ISS, and I think this was posted in the last week because I was trying to find that footage. ISS UFO. It's a pretty good zoom, and it tells you where. 14 hours, 54 minutes, 55 seconds, 12/21, 2012, right there. Anybody can go check this stuff up. You can back all it up yourself. So when we look at Reagan and Star Wars and funneling all this money into black projects that were unaccountable, right? So much was going on at that time, and so little of it really got exposed and got the coherency it deserved, right? There was a little bit of spotlight on the Iran-Contra affair and how we were dealing drugs and how that was part of these black ops and programs. But for the most part, right, technology went a different path. We were all promised that we were all going to be in space and beyond the moon and to Mars by now, and other nations were also going to go to the moon. But what do we really do with the satellite technology? What could, and McKinnon, by the way, he hacked prior to 9/11, where he found these documents on non-terrestrial officers. I'd say his story is very interesting because he almost got extradited from the United Kingdom, and ultimately the ruling that was passed down had something to do with the fact he was Assange even survives in prison. That's a side issue. I've been doing a lot of videos on them as well. But getting back to it, I would encourage everybody to not only check out Star Wars, but see how Reagan kind of invoked this. Remember, Reagan is the original Make America Great Again campaign, that Americana illusion. But when you look at the Reagan presidency, what's really behind it? It's George H.W., that's Herbert Walker Bush, and cronies like Dick Cheney and Donald Rumsfeld, people like Paul Wolfowitz on the come up. Do you get what I'm saying? It's the rise of the unaccountable deep state, the military-industrial complex that was already well in place before them, and the solidification of that unit through things like the National Programs Office and carte blanche national security issues. It took till 9/11 to truly erode, the First Amendment, criminalizing speech, putting people in prisons without any kind of due process, killing American citizens as well, droning them. Remember that? Remember when the Obama administration did that? And Robert Gibbs said maybe he shouldn't have had that type of father. All this stuff is a reality from this era on. That's what it grew out of. So I think we've already militarized space. I think that this video, is it some kind of drone? Maybe. Again, I don't know. It certainly has 3 dimensions. It looks like there's some kind of control of it. If you guys have better source videos, I'd love to see them. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. We're going to wait for this last spot that I'm blocking out. Here we go. Here it comes. And hey, the quality of this video, again, being from the ISS, it's pretty good, man. There it is, one more time. Oh, we try to have fun here sometimes. We try to look at stuff like this. I'd encourage people to check out Annie Jacobson's book, Area 51, and her take on not only like the Lazar story, but others out there, the Horton brothers, post-World War II and paperclip technology, Nazi technology, all interesting stuff when you start to get in on it. You know what? I don't think, let's see, we got to go here for my videos. I don't have anything up, so you can check it out. I do this 3 to 7 times a day. Oh, wrong place. This is the studio. See all these? That looks nice, right? That looks nice with the monetization. Let me show you what the live ones look like. I actually got some remonetized yesterday. Snowden, under review. Let's see. Epstein, no dice. Confirmed. Can't talk about Assad, Syria. Can't do a mixed martial arts podcast if you want to mention McGregor without that getting monetized. These 3 got remonetized. That's nice. More Epstein. Can't show the Popeyes chicken brawls. I'm getting some of them back, guys. It looks like I did better than 30%. Oh, there's a nice string of no moss. Looks like a little bit better than 30%, but you get the idea. I'm doing a lot of these videos. I'm doing them for free. Please, thumbs the video up, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, check out all my documentary films. They're all here. I have a GoFundMe. The link is below. $5, $10, $15. It means the world to me. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the flip side.